Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
Peter says in 1 Peter chapter 5, when he speaks to elders in the church, he says, "I charge the elders among you as a fellow elder, shepherd the flock of God." And then he begins to describe in what manner an elder should shepherd the flock. And one of the descriptions that he provides is this. He says, not domineering over those in your care, but setting the believers an example. Meaning, pastors are always quick to quote Ephesians 4. That Christ, He's given apostles, prophets, evangelists, and shepherd teachers, which I would see that as not a fivefold ministry, but a fourfold. Apostles, prophets, evangelists, and shepherd-teachers. And I believe that shepherding and teaching are just two sides of the same coin that really describe in full the ministry of a pastor. So the fourfold ministry I would understand as apostles, prophets, evangelists, and pastors. And so therefore, pastors get real excited when they look at Ephesians 4 and say that Christ appointed leaders to the church, pastors being listed among these leaders for the training and equipping of the saints. The pastors will quote this and say, "Hey, the work of ministry belongs to the saints. I'm here to train and equip." And that's true. That is true. The work of ministry, if we talk about who executes the work of ministry of the church, it is the saints. It's not merely those ordained. It's not merely the elders or the deacons of the church. It is the saints themselves that carry out the work of ministry. All that is absolutely biblical and true. However, if you cross-reference Ephesians 4 with 1 Peter 5, you run into a bit of a problem for the pastor who wants to exclusively reserve himself for training and equipping. Because 1 Peter 5 says that elders should shepherd the flock of God, which I would argue involves training and equipping them. But in what manner? With what heart posture? Not domineering. So how do I make sure that I'm not domineering? By setting an example. But how do you set an example for others in what they're called to do, but by doing it yourself? When you set an example, when a parent sets an example, the kid has chores that you've given them to do, but they're struggling to do it, and you want to show them how. Well, how do you show them? But by doing it yourself. You do it with them. The chore is we're going to put our dirty laundry in the basket. And the child just can't quite get it. And so what do you end up doing? Picking the laundry up yourself and carrying it over with the child and dropping it in the basket. You join them in the work of ministry. And so leaders in the church actually have a double role. It's not less, it's substantially more. They're called to train and equip the saints for the work of ministry and not domineer, but rather set them an example by joining in the work of ministry themselves. So leaders both train and equip and do the work that they're training and equipping for. And in all these ways, they shepherd the flock of God in a way that is not domineering. But I say all that to make the primary point, which again is this: not domineering, not lording it over those. Jesus says this. He says the rulers of this earth, they take their authority and they lord it over those that they're in authority over. But let it not be so among you. So the Bible affirms hierarchy on earth and in heaven. But it's a hierarchy of grace. It's a hierarchy of humility. It's a hierarchy of love.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would consider supporting Right Response Ministries, we'd be incredibly grateful. You can do so by going to rightresponseministries.com/donate to give your gift of any amount. If you're not able to support us financially, that's okay. You can still support us in a great regard simply by subscribing to our YouTube channel, clicking the bell, and of course sharing our content with all your friends and family. We can't do this without you, your support, and your prayers. So thank you.